This is a quick update on our BTC USD trade. Date is August 11th. It's Friday, 2017. We're trading the start of the New York session. So what we're looking at is 4 different time frames. 30-minute over here in the top left, 1 hour on the bottom left, the 4-hour chart on the top right, and then the daily chart on the bottom right. Now, with our updates over the past several days, most of this week, we've traded this several times in the same direction since last week. When it was inside a consolidation 2 days ago, Wednesday, I didn't trade much of this pullback here. I'll go ahead and go to a 30-minute chart so you can see it here. This is Wednesday's trading range. I didn't sell it. I kept saying that I didn't think it was going to go too far. It ended up dropping from that 33.40 level approximately all the way down here about 32.20 or 32.30. I know that some of you in the subscribers and the members did sell that. I did not. I waited for a bounce, and then this was the bounce, but it ended up looking like that double bottom right here. That T2 pattern is what I was looking for. T2 pattern is something that I explain. By the way, we're closing the trade here at 35, the first half of the position. So, and I know that this has already happened. I didn't catch this trade live throughout the entire process. We've taken this trade too many times this week in the same direction, and I didn't record all of them. So if you want, you can go back to the update from the weekend update and last week's trades where we were getting into the trade since the breakout of last week. That was actually August 5th, I'm sorry. And that was on the bigger move, which was from the rollover and what was going on Friday, and then what happened over the weekend, and then it took off. So there was already a move on Friday, and then it continued, and it's been moving since. So we've got that breakout that we've been waiting for the last few weeks. So I'll go through all this and set this up, but basically our primary targets have been psychological levels. And the final psychological level today being Friday, because we want to lock in profits. Now, obviously, this is going to roll through the weekend and continue higher. But with this trade from yesterday, we have 2 targets. So for those of you who are watching this and are members, obviously, if you're taking one trade, you're closing out at 3,500. Right now, it's at 3,515. Again, we've taken this trade so many times. It's a matter of locking in profits every time because we're day trading this for the most part. Now, just because I say day trading, obviously, you would think to yourself, okay, well, maybe they're scalping or maybe they're taking short-term trades. We're hoping that the trade is going to hit the target within the same day, but sometimes it might take another trading session. And when I say trading session, it's not so much with Bitcoin. What we're talking about is the currency trading sessions. London, New York, Asian, whatever session. So sometimes it'll roll over to a couple of other sessions. Sometimes it'll take another day. In this case, if you're scaling out of the position and you've locked in profits here at the 3,500 level, obviously the next target's going to be 3,550, and then we're going for 36. Now, we also have targets that are a lot further than this. We have a major time frame target. I'm going to go back to that because we've also been talking about that with the updates. So if you go back to the trades, the videos from these trades a week ago, you're going to see some of these updates. This is sort of the second half of that. So I'm going to go now to the daily chart. So if you look at some of those previous updates from a week ago or so, what we're doing is going back to this daily chart and making sure that the trend is still intact and our expectations are still viable at this point. So we've got, I'm not going to review the whole thing, the whole A, B, C, and the bounce off of these 2 levels. There's a double bottom here, and then the continued breakout again, and we talked about the Bollinger Bands in some of those updates. But our first target is here at 38, and I don't think it's going to stop. I mean, again, we're always going to have pullbacks and things like that, but the trend itself isn't. I'm not convinced it's over. Remember, this is a daily time frame. This is a target that's really far out there. But even that being said, I still think that the targets that we have above 3,800, those are still in play, and I think can still hit and happen relatively soon, as long as this trend remains intact. So at this point, it still looks like 3,800 is the next target. I mean, it looks like it could easily, I mean, based on the moves that we've seen over the past few weeks, this doesn't look out of the question in a relatively short period of time. So if it blows right through the 35.50 today, earlier in the session, again, it's Friday, and then it continues, then it's just a matter of scaling the trade, adjusting the stop loss, and trading it back up here to 3,800. So that would actually be our next target, or the second target of the trade that we got into yesterday at 34.20. Entry all the way here to 3,800. That's a really good trade. This all developed with the continuation breakout trade. Again, it's something that I use in every other currency pair, every other major currency pair. I actually teach how to use this method in my trading system so that you can learn how to do it. It can be applied to the breakout method, the continuation breakout method, can be applied to the 1 hour time frame, the 4 hour time frame, which is what we're looking at here. Again, I go back to these charts and I make sure that the confirmations here and the signals show up. And then also on the initial breakout here on the 1 hour time frame. This is the 1 hour time frame now. So everything's moving just as we expect it. I'll be making another update probably on Sunday